I don't know what you're thinking, but I do know that you're thinking too much about the same things over and over again, wasting a ton of time. These are many things, thoughts and ideas that change little to nothing and matters about the same. This is time you could have used for anything else, but it's wasted and lost, essentially shortening your life. It's sad to think all this time lost, but that too is a waste of time, and today I want to show you that it's not too late, and if perception of time can greatly extend your lifespan, why not? Now I'm going to break this down into two parts. This isn't about morals, or me telling you what's good or bad to do and think about. The part's really up to you. I wish I could say this lesson was as simple as the first. It's not. Where the first key has to deal more with a conviction, this key takes awareness and discipline. It also gets worse before it gets better. I call it a perception of time paradox. You see, in order to identify these thoughts that are wasting our time, we must actively waste time trying to observe and identify these thoughts, which takes more time. On top of that, these unwanted repeating thoughts can be stubborn, like an addiction. Our brain becomes used to regular chemical transactions that occur and will not change willingly. This will not be easy. You may bring on some anger at yourself. It can end up consuming more time, making this key worthless to anyone who cannot overcome this challenge. If you think this is the case, then I advise you to stop and go back to living your life the way you were. However, if you can change, not be hung up on how well it's working or focusing on whether you did eliminate all these time wasters, as that too will waste time if done continuously once you've learned what you need to know. If you can do this, then you will step into a much larger world where you can truly make more of a difference. Okay, now the second part to this is identifying those thoughts you want to discontinue. In Buddhism, these thoughts may be seen as attachments. They're things that are stealing time from you. It's in our nature to deny this because we tend to think that it's the rest of the world that has a problem. It can't be you, because if you're flawed, then your perspective is flawed, and you might be wrong. But we're all flawed. You, me, everyone, really. And that's okay. It only makes sense to repair something when it's broke. Or when, in this case, you can make an improvement that's worth it. If you can identify the thoughts and attachments that hold you back and consciously make the decision to think about or even do something else, then you'll free up time in your head, in your life. Your life will feel more real. You will find purpose. Before long, every day will feel more well spent. Remember the paradox, though, and don't focus on the search for these things too much. I'll give you a few examples of things that ate up my time. Consider these like vocabulary words I'd like you to study with your homework. Some may be good for everyone, and some less so. But if you have any ideas of your own that are good thing to release from yourself, that drop a comment in the little section below here. Tell other people about it. Tell me, especially if you think that many people don't catch or realize they are wasting time doing these things. Let me know. I'd really be interested myself, and I respond to most comments as well, people. So, hey. But for now, here are those vocabulary words. All right. First one, forgiveness. I personally think it would be best to forgive everyone for everything and then forget about it. Don't worry, you won't really forget about it, but forget about it. Second vocabulary word, religion. These are not in any particular order, by the way. But religion. This is just one of those topics that will consume your life. It's like wasting your life studying life. It's not really a waste, but learn what you need to know and go. I wasn't trying to lump all the religions together, but I did, so take what you want from that. I've already forgot about it. What were we talking about? Third word. Regret. As the Red Hot Chili Peppers once quoted in a song, saying, as the Butthole Surfers said, it's better to regret something you did than something you didn't do. I, however, would add on to that, saying, maybe, then move on. That would be, because you get stuck in regret, and you can learn from it, but you need to learn from it and move on, because it will consume you as well. And last word, one more. Complaints. You probably do it far more than you realize. I'll pretty much leave it at that. Try not to complain so much. Alright, so that's it, people. That's it. That was key 2. Trying to eliminate time wasters. Homework. We always go over a little something to do. Give your brain something else to think about and whatnot. Love words like whatnot. I just throw them out there just to mess with people, I think. Anyway, I'm going to try to keep it simple this time and try to focus on one thing. But what one thing should it be? Want to solve the power needs for our whole planet? We'll do that one. That's good. They taught you in science that anytime you have a flow of electricity, you have a magnetic field. I want you to think for a moment about the amount of molten metal spinning away in our planet, converting its energy into electricity. It simply grounds out through our atmosphere. Wasted. Now here's a crazy idea. What if we connected the 2 poles of our planet with some sort of super ultra giant monster cables that were insulated and regulate the power throughout the world using tap stations? Basically, we'd be connecting our 2 poles and tapping power from the planet. It may even be necessary to stabilize our poles, as they have been shifting over time due to not well-known forces. The first argument I know people will make is that we can't make that much cable or have the ability or manpower to lay that much. And they're wrong. They'll say that a project on this scale involving multiple countries to cooperate will never happen. They're wrong. I might say people already have what they need. They're wrong. Reason and logic will tell you this is inevitable. However, and the power can still be metered, regulated, and most importantly, for society to benefit, made profit from, a little greed goes a long way. And besides the negative effects of greed, there are positives, like knowing future generations will not need to convert so much liquid and solid materials into gas for energy. Our atmosphere doesn't need any more gases added to it made from the solids and liquids of our planet's mass. It's changing our planet's composition. That's the big deal with global warming. If people would open their eyes, that mattered more than what it is the gases are. Now, knowing that, think about this. Once the infrastructure is in place, it's practically free energy Sure, there may be a little less lightning in some places of the world, but really, there should be no negative consequences such as you would get from fossil fuels and just about every other source of energy we use out there. These are worldwide possibilities. Now, it makes me think about coal. Long ago, people decided, it needed to be overmined so that these powerful people would send their prices plummeting so that there would be a greater demand since it was so cheap. And then all of a sudden, everybody had to have coal. And as he generated much more demand, you can imagine what happened. And there's different times in history where different things like this have happened. We need to evolve and see things for what they are. I see people are falling asleep. So that's it for class today. Remember to study your vocabulary words, people. There's a link to the first key in the description as well. And if you like the video, maybe hit that thumbs up button there. And if you want to know when the third key comes out and what it's going to be about, you know what you got to do.